Okay, so I was sitting here and this came to me that I'm looking at my pants and they say believe in magic. And I talked about these pants this morning. Um, they just made it their way into this house. My son bought after we moved in about a week ago. My son brought a box over from his father's with a whole bunch of his old stuff in it that had been stored away that he wanted to bring here and put. And he opened it up, and there's like baby clothes in there, and these pants. Believe in magic, and they're obvious. I don't know where they came from, but they made it their way into this house somehow. And they're not my boys. I mean, they I think they're women's, and they're right my size. And I was thinking, what I was talking about the other week or the other day about what is rightfully yours by vibration will make its way to you. You don't have, it's effortless. You don't have to do anything. These pants, believe in magic, in my perfect size, they're like, they're made for me. They're made for me. For doing my housework, they're the most comfortable. They have like hearts and stars in between the sentences, and they're a little off. They're perfect. They were like made for me. And this shirt somehow, I don't know, also came in a bag this week. It's like a perfect set. And it's just things that made themselves their way to me. Oh, here's another thing that made its way to me. I'll show you. And it's also just like perfect for me. See, the things that are made for me, see, obviously, isn't this is made for me. It matches my hair. So obviously, the things that are made for us, I'm still making this granola. Oh, this one I need to start doing. So, the things that are made for us find their way to us. It's effortless. We don't have to put forth an effort. And that is something that when we understand it, then the things that come to us, that are magnetized to us, are exactly in sync with what we need, because whatever we vibrate, the world brings to us. It's what we expect to see. It's what we're thinking about. It's our dominant vibration. A combination of all the different vibrations and kind of like a balance in between. Like, are you more here? Or are you more here? In how you feel. When you reach for what is your vibration? You have low vibration, high vibration. It's just like when you meet somebody, you say, oh, that guy had a good vibe. It's that's what it is. And when somebody has a happy vibe and you put it on the scale of life, they spent more of their life in happy vibe, they have a happy life. So, I'll show you. I made granola, and I'm still making, and I made oatmeal cookies with chicken eggs from the yard. So I can also eat them. There was something else. Oh, the believe in magic part. I was sitting there and I was thinking, believe in magic. Believing in magic, it's all connected. It goes with the leap of faith. So when you believe, you have to believe in magic in order to take that leap of faith. You have to believe in magic. Uh, you have to believe in what you don't know. And you have to have faith, and you have to make the leap, and you have to believe in magic, because magic is what gives you flight. It's like a leap of faith into trust, into just trusting and allowing yourself just to get into the flow. Just move, you be in the now, move from thing to thing. You don't have to have the whole picture before you step out. And then you naturally step into your path. And as you say who you are, you become. And really what it is a surrender. It is allowing yourself to let go of the need to control. A leap of faith into the unknown. But it's known. See, it's paradoxical. It's because on the one hand, it's like going home, allowing yourself to go home. Home into yourself, just allowing yourself to go into yourself. It's surrender. It's like doing that time suspension that I was talking about in this morning's video, where you go into the now and you kind of suspend time. It's like timeless. And in there you see energy. It's more like everything is still, but the tree is moving. It goes into like this zone where it's timeless. Everything is kind of suspended. And it's the most wonderful place to be, because any action taken in that place is completely energetic. It's like you see things in an energetic way. So when you are moving it from that place, there is no waste of energy. Everything is intentional, because you're moving. It's like moving pieces of a puzzle around. You don't just throw pieces of puzzles all over the place. You move them into, it's like a sequence. So it's being able to get into the now, and then seeing all movement as energy expansion. Is there a word like that? Where you like spend energy? So everything is spent energy. And when you see things as spent energy, you start beginning to understand the mechanics or mechanisms or whatever is the cause and effect of the thing. You start seeing it fractal. You start seeing energy as part of an equation, because you can see energy also as an art. Energy is like movement, but energy is also within it plays out on time. It has to have the timeline to be able to get into it and to be able to be spent. So when you suspend time, and you get into the now with intention. We know how to do this by nature. That's where we were born into. And then we got into our mind. But it's like doing a big zoom out. And there's a portal to this place through focus and appreciation combined. Focus and appreciation, because you focus, when you begin to appreciate things, everything has a meaning. You don't want the extra bag from the supermarket. You know, everything that you bring into your home has purpose and a meaning. And you start not wanting stuff, because stuff has energy attached to it and you're responsible for it. And when you really stand up and you become responsible, you understand how much is entailed to take care of each thing. And you don't want the energy expansion, because you live your life in a place of energy, where energy is the currency and time is suspended. Whereas the matrix lives in the time dimension of time, and everybody's running after time. Time, if you ever heard, time is money. But when you look at the world by way of energy, it's like transferring into this other zone, transferring into this other dimension. You know, the matrix works on time, and then you can transfer into a simultaneous. You know, I see it as there's I'm seeing a triangle or a square. Like one's like this, one's like this. But in the triangle, there is the oh no, there's matter. Okay, so there's time, there's energy, there's matter, and there's space. Time, energy, matter, space. So you can move into these dimensions. Just a minute, I'm looking into the dimensions. The one that I'm talking about is time, where you go into time and then you can see the energy. And then you can, it like shifts. And when you go, okay, what I wanted to say was that when you start playing with energy, then the game in matter is like, it's much quicker. You know, you're not playing on the timeline, you're playing in energy. You're swapping things around. So your scales can be much larger because it's a game of energy. It's not a game of time or matter. You know, it's a game of choice, a game of fun. It comes from a completely different perspective of, oh, I have to make the end of this month work. It comes from like this perspective, oh, what am I going to play today? You know, how am I going to go into the matrix and move stuff around? And, you know, it's like it becomes a big game. I remember this. And you can play on any scale, right? You play with your beliefs. And the portal into being in the now is through appreciation it's through focus and appreciation. you purposefully look for things to be appreciative of and pay attention to their details. You know, like when I'm saying that, I'm looking at this jar. Let me go get it. Look at this jar. I mean, I found that on the side of the mountain. That's like a collectible. I mean, it's got this. I found it in this antique place. You know, on the side of the mountain, you find things that were thrown there 40 years ago. But I love it. It's like my Indian cup. Yeah, and it fits right in the cup holder in the car. And you can put a lid on it, right? So you can take coffee with you. And I just put a sock right over it, and it keeps it nice and warm for a long time. So, I mean, it's like, it has character. It has character, especially when it has a sock around it, because it's always like a loose sock. I'm not going to usually I won't take a sock from a set unless I don't have a choice. We always have a choice, don't we? But you get my point. This granola is turning out really good. And it's good that I'm doing this video right here, because then I'm right next to it, so I can just tend to it. That's the last batch. And then, oh, let me show you. I have a dove, I think. I'll show you. A penguin, a pigeon. Hold on. That made see right there. I'm not going to get too close, so we're still building our relationship. I moved her box, but you see it, there she is. She's beautiful. She's a good mama. She's just sitting there. So it's right at the entrance to the house inside, pretty much. So we're still building like trust. So I leave the door a little bit open. And so she hears the noises in here and things like that. So she's used to human noises. So when we open the door and go through, she's already aware of us. She already knows us. And she's just sitting there. I want to just a minute. I want to check something. I want to check about the magic. You have to believe in real magic. You have to believe in real magic. It's all around us. It's all around us. The signs. They're everywhere. And when you start noticing them and appreciating them and following them, then they start showing you more and more and more. You get guided more and more and more. The more you pay attention, and that brings you into the now, you have to do it through appreciation. You start appreciating the little things, and then you're paying attention to their details, and then you're thinking about how it was made. And you're feeling appreciation for it. You see all the beauty in it. And then you're always seeing things that are beautiful. Your whole life becomes beautiful. You're noticing all the beautiful things around you, and at some point you even become oblivious to anything that you would perceive as, you start becoming look, see, I mean that's really, if that's all you notice, then it's everywhere. It's everywhere. The beauty of life, the wonder in it. You have to reach for it. Reach for it. And even in the dark times, you have to trust that it's there. You have to know that it's there. And that comes in with the belief. Believe that it's there and start reaching for it. Because sometimes when you're in those dark places, you can't see it. But you can know that it's there because you felt it before and you can see other people living it. You know that it's there even if you can't see it. So it's like a leap of faith. You have to trust. You have to trust. It's like jumping blind because it's not anything that you have known before. Because you were taught to think differently, because your mind was already programmed, because you're conditioned to thinking that the only way that the human race can live is a specific way, and you are not of that nature, so you're always in discord. You're always like, your thoughts are one place and your heart is another. Your brain was taught that you're supposed to be like this, and there's a very specific box that you're supposed to fit into that, we grade you on from when you're tiny, if you're good or you're bad, or you're supposed to be like this because you want to be accepted in society or whatever it is. And it's in all societies. And there's always the option of just going home to yourself and believing in magic, and it takes you there. That's where the belief comes in. And when you look back, all of the, I had somebody that wrote in a remark that I was talking about something of the now. I don't know what exactly it was. I don't know. I do a lot of these videos. And she wrote in that it's like Eckhart Tolle, but that I explain a little bit different. And it all comes from the same source. All of the knowledge comes from the same source. So it's like we are divine creatures that get this knowledge to come through, whatever it is, each and every one of us. But we get so far in the way of ourselves because we have these filters, these archetypes that we bring the messages through. That is our life force coming through us, and they're archetypes. They're different energies that flow through us, and we are like filters because we bring these messages and they come through us. So they come through this avatar creature thing, and it comes through. It has to come into our heart and our brain, our mind, it comes in as an idea, and then we form words to express that idea, and we bring it through our bodies with the expression that we bring it to it. So it's like all of the information is from the same river. It's all the same divine source. It's all the divine intelligence of all. And it's all coming from the same place. So when you clean yourself of all of your weaknesses and stand into your power, that means going through the pain of cleansing, of self-cleansing. The divine flows through you freer. See, and we get to choose as these avatars, kind of, maybe not, what the messages that come through. No. It's all kind of see, it's all right. I mean, all right. I mean, yeah, all right. But it's everything is correct all at once. All of the different, all of the different perspectives are correct all at once. That's why people argue so hard, because each of the people think that their answer is the only answer, and they don't see the other's perspective and what kind of archetypes it's built on. That's because each of us are conditioned differently according to how they were raised and taught, and what information they acquired, and what beliefs what they perceived, and what beliefs they built on those perceptions. And each individual is different. Each individual has a different vibration. And if the vibration, and where you vibrate out, but you also like receive. So also a receiver. So it goes through all sorts of filters until it comes out as a finished product. So the filter of my perception first, because my ears can hear everything. But I can focus them on the birds chirping outside, or the dishes I have to do. See, it's where you put your focus, or how you conceive things to be. So first, where you put your focus, and then what you perceive, or your perspective. Your perspective has ashpa'ah, like it like directs your perception. Your perspective directs your perception. Which reinforces your beliefs. Because if you are in tune to see all the bad, when you're having a miserable day, have you ever noticed that you notice everything that's bad that is around you, everything that you perceive, like you only notice the things that make you miserable. And when you're happy, the things that usually would make you, and not usually, but other times would make you miserable, you just take them so lightheartedly. So it has to do with your vibration, and your perception, and your perspective, which is connected to your belief system, what you believe to be true. And what you believe to be true is true for you. It becomes your truth. And you can have a truth. Hold on, I lost it. Just a minute. I lost the connection. What was that? What you perceive to be true is true for you. I'm going to pause it because I lost the connection, and then I'm getting into my mind, so then I'm trying to look for loose ends, and then I can tell something shifted. So I'm going to pause it, and then I'm going to start doing stuff, and then if I recall, I'll come back. Okay, so I'm just going to let myself off the hook with this one. I don't feel like anything is. I feel like when I'm waiting for something, it puts me into the mind. So I imagine I'm just going to turn this off and get busy. I still need to fold all those clothes, listen to some music. And I decided to call the pigeon Cecilia, like the song. I think it's by Simon and Garfunkel, if I'm not mistaken. So Cecilia. And we're building some rapport. Okay, so thanks for watching. Okay, so now I remember it was to sum up. It is the portal into the now and into a happy place is through appreciation. If you look, joy always sits in appreciation. Look at everything that makes you happy. You have to be in appreciation of first. So look for things to be appreciative of, even if it is like fake it till you make it. Believe that it's there. Believe in magic. And through appreciation, when it starts becoming a game, when you decide that you are purposefully looking for things to be appreciative of, you start noticing more and more and more things to be appreciative of. And when you think about why do I appreciate it, then you get the whole story, and it gets worth. It becomes worth something. Everything has like a value. And okay, so here is the matter, because we were saying before there were four. There's time, there's energy, there's matter. And there's space. And space would be how much space it takes up, how much window space it takes up in your energy, how much space it takes up in your worth, how much space it takes up in your, like, worth is value, and how much space it takes up in your time, right? Because if you are working by the hour, 8 hours a day, and making a little above minimum wage, if you even double minimum wage, you're selling your time. And there's only a certain amount of matter, money, that you can attain in a certain amount of time. It's a given. It's there's a limit on it. So that's not a way that you will ever see the extremities of life. Like, you'll never excel, even by going up that fictional ladder. That doesn't, it's fictional. It's built that way by whoever's on top of it, so that people will want to achieve and be there. But if you look at it, it's a pyramid. There's somebody at the top. And unless that's you, you're under somebody else's pyramid. That means you're living your life is dedicated to somebody else. You're a slave. Regardless if you feel free or don't feel free, you're giving all of your energy, all of your time, all of your life light, ideas, your good ideas, all of your talents, all of your worth, you're giving over for somebody else's life to excel, for somebody else to be at the top of the pyramid. This is really good coffee. I'll show you the coffee. Okay. This is what it is. It's Schufer coffee. then I have the oatmeal milk. I'm not doing promos. I'm just if I'm saying it, then I'm going to let you know what it is so that you can have some if you want. There are flowers on this tree right outside here. These really pretty flowers. See what you notice. Turn it around. You see? It's pretty. And then I'll show you the flower tree on the other side that has these really pretty red flowers. I'm out on the balcony now. And that is the tree there. My son hung a flag for Independence Day. I'm looking at my plants. My plants need some, I want to take care of my plants. I want to plant also maybe some vegetables. I have room out there. I want to make a garden. I want to make it nice to where I like sitting out there. And I want to put up some shade. Okay, I'm going to go get busy. So, thank you for watching. Okay, so there's more coming to me. And it is that when you see it all comes together, and then you start trying to interpret it into words, and then there's other aspects that, once you get into one flow, but you have to bring all of these dimensions. These are dimensions that you can go in between, like I was talking about time and energy, and how energy flows on time, but time also. See, they're all codependent, all four of these, which is time, matter, energy, and space. So there's 4 different dimensions, and they all come together into one. So in this way, these 4 dimensions have to have a meeting place. So when you find that center, that meeting place, where you see, and you can go in between these different dimensions too. Like when you stop time, it's like I was saying this morning, I think, about like a fish being in water. A fish doesn't know he's in water because he doesn't have that perspective. So when you go into time and time stops, there is no perception of time. And in the other realms there are, but in that one there isn't. Because you're submerged into it. You're submerged, you're in it. So you can't conceive of it. And then you start seeing energy as movement. You start seeing movement. Everything has an expense in energy and matter and space, right? Right? And you can take all those dimensions and you can apply them to yourselves. How much space do I have to, how much room in my life do I have? Space plays out on all the other 3. So I'm seeing this before I'm seeing the reason. So space, let's think about it for a minute. Space plays out in time. I guess the perception of space would have to flow on time, because what would space would be disconnected without time. So there's a link there. Matter is in constant evolution on time, And matter takes up a certain amount of space. And matter takes energy to be created and to be dissolved. And it has energy to it. It has a vibration. All matter has vibration. Vibration plays out on time. What about space? I guess, yeah. I guess that it's like, it does. It plays out on how far it vibrates to, how it reaches. So it needs space to be able to spread. Okay, I'm going to tag this on the end. I'm still busy. So, to add on, you must become you must fully master each of these dimensions, which is the time, matter, energy, and space. So you need to fully master. You do self mastery within each of these dimensions, and fully understand these dimensions in order to master yourself. Because this world, this life is playing out at a pinpoint of all of these dimensions together: space, matter, energy, and time. So it means that you learn how to maximize your time. You learn how to do it most efficiently, energetic-wise, time-wise, and space-wise. So that means no more and nor no less than what is needed at any given moment. It means coming into being very precise, because all four of these dimensions are of importance, and all four of these dimensions need to be looked at in a matter of efficiency. To maximize your potential in this lifetime is to master yourself within these four dimensions. See, there's so much to this spiritual awakening. And the thing is that it all comes together at once. So as you're understanding your psychology more and more, and you're understanding science more and more, you're understanding nature, you're understanding your emotions, everything starts coming together all at once. All the religions, everything seems to be collapsing into one big connected, it's all connected intricately. Life, history, religion, all of these different things are playing a role in this mystical realms, the stars, moon, the sun, everything is getting relevant to itself and to one another. That means everything is connected, everything is relevant. Everything is part of the equation, including every single cell in our body and everything that made us up by way of our personalities. Okay. I was already rendering this movie, and then I decided that I have to add this in on the end because it's connected. It brings it all together for us. Okay.